Short answer, yes. In most cases, you can install Windows 11 on an unsupported PC in 2025, but Microsoft's official line matters. You may not get guaranteed updates, support, or compatibility forever. If you want the one-sentence takeaway before we dig in, it'll probably run. It might even be fine for weeks or months, but you're trading long-term safety and predictable updates for an immediate upgrade. Think of it like using a performance mod on a car with no warranty. Fun, but risky if you rely on the ride. All right, let's unpack what Microsoft actually says, what people are seeing in the wild, and a quick no-nonsense checklist if you decide to try it. Stick around to the end. I'll give you the exact backup and rollback routine I use so you won't be left staring at a bricked PC if something goes sideways. Microsoft's requirements for Windows 11 aren't there to annoy you, they're basically a minimum hardware contract, TPM 2.0 enabled, secure boot, and a supported CPU family. If your PC fails those checks and you force the install, Microsoft's wording is clear. The system may no longer be eligible to receive optional updates, and Microsoft may decline to provide technical support for that device. But what does that mean practically? In real life, many people used various bypasses and continued to receive updates, sometimes for months. So the risk is probabilistic, not an immediate door slam. You might keep getting updates, or an update could trigger a compatibility fence, and then your machine stops getting fixes. That's the key. It's a cliff, not a slow fade. One day it's fine, next update you miss critical security patches. Here are the real problems people actually hit. Security. Missing security patches makes your system an easier target. That's not theoretical. Drivers. Vendor drivers, graphics stacks, or Wi-Fi firmware updates might stop working cleanly on unsupported setups. And future features. New OS features that rely on hardware security primitives won't arrive for you. So who's this actually okay for? If the machine is a spare or test box and you love tinkering, go ahead. You'll probably be fine if you keep good backups. If it's your daily driver for work, banking, or anything sensitive, don't gamble. Buy a cheap, compatible Windows 11 ready machine or stick to Windows 10 with a migration plan. If you're stubborn and want to try the unsupported install anyway, here's the exact checklist I recommend. Short, actionable, and safe. 1. Make a full disk image with a reliable tool, Clonezilla, Macrium Reflect. 2. Create a Windows 10 recovery USB and a Windows 11 installer USBs so you can roll back fast. 3. Export browser data and sign out of accounts you don't want tied to the device. 4. Test critical apps on a VM first and keep a separate machine for two-factor codes during the transition. One practical tip most people miss, keep a tiny USB stick labeled rollback with the disk image and recovery tools stored in a drawer, and you'll thank yourself if something goes wrong. If Microsoft later tuts updates to unsupported systems, that USB is the difference between a few minutes to undo and hours of pain. Okay, final reality check and my recommendation. If you love bleeding-edge tinkering and can restore images blindfolded, go for it. Enjoy the project and share results in the comments. If you depend on the machine for work or you store important personal data on it, don't. Either buy a cheap Windows 11 ready machine or move the old machine to Linux or Chrome OS Flex. We'll cover those alternatives in the next video. If you want, I'll generate a short voiceover file you can drop into your edit that reads the exact rollback steps word for word. Say rollback in the comments and I'll drop it in the next upload. Hit like if this helped, subscribe for practical PC survival tips, and I'll see you in the alternatives video, where we'll give that old laptop a real second life.